again. Welcome back to Diabetes College. Let's Diabetes. This is Rozalind again, and today we're going to be talking about metabolic syndrome and prediabetes, like I promised in the previous episode. So, I would like to disclaim that I'm here not representing my employer or Diabetes Canada or International Diabetes Federation. I am here for you and I, an interactive channel where we talk about diabetes, its prevention. And I also like to say, if you have any concerns in terms of diabetes, the best thing to do is actually to go to your doctor, who will individualize your care. Here is interactive and information session only. So today we are going to talk more on prediabetes and metabolic syndrome. So what is prediabetes? Just like it said, you are not a diabetic already, but you don't have good numbers to be called a non-diabetic either. So you are just in the middle. So if, for instance, you go for a diabetes test, the doctor tells you your number is between 6.1 to 6.9 millimoles per liter. Its equivalent is 110 to 125 milligrams per deciliter. Then we say you have prediabetes. This is a number you have to always bear in mind, because most of the time you might go for a test and doctor looks at it and feels it's okay because you're not big enough to be called a diabetic. You need to know the numbers. And just quickly, I'll let you know that Diabetes Canada indicates that if you also do such a test, fasting blood sugar test, and you are getting between 5.6 and 6.0 millimoles per liter, then you are seriously at risk and you need to do the test again. So that is really, really important that we know the numbers. The good news is, if you have prediabetes, you're still able to put yourself back by improving your lifestyle. Lifestyle is a totally different topic of its own. But I need you to know that that's the good news about prediabetes. You are there, you're not there yet. You can pull yourself back. The bad news, however, is the fact that according to Diabetes Canada, if you have prediabetes, you are at an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, which we call heart disease, and also at an increased risk of becoming having type 2 diabetes, and also at risk of also having stroke, according to American Diabetes Association. A high quality research evidence have shown that improved lifestyle intervention could help in preventing the progression from prediabetes to being a diabetic. We're going to move to metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a highly prevalent and multifaceted condition that is characterized by a group of abnormalities like abdominal obesity, dyslipidemia, hypertension, high blood sugar, and so on. So breaking it down, group of health condition that we tend to have. Sometimes we don't know that we have them. Sometimes we do know that we have them. These group of health conditions will come together to cause what we call metabolic syndrome. We have something like abdominal obesity, which I will talk more on, and also high blood pressure, and also when you have a higher number of bad fats and lower number of good fats. So if we put all these together, we call them metabolic syndrome. And truly, these are the issues that we have that nicely guide you into becoming a type 2 diabetic. Individuals with metabolic syndrome are at significant risk of developing cardiovascular disease, which is heart disease as well. Sometimes metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes tend to coexist. That means you might have someone who already have type 2 diabetes and also is quite obese, or have abdominal obesity, or have hypertension. However, if you do not have type 2 diabetes already and you have metabolic syndrome, then the risk of getting type 2 diabetes is very high. I would like to define what we mean by abdominal obesity. So for abdominal obesity, when you wake up in the morning, or any time of the day that works for you, preferably in the morning so you can get a better measurement, you will need to do this measurement without your clothes on. So you get a tape measure, you go around your waist area, just measure at the point of belly button. around that area. Just take that measuring tape around you at the belly point of belly button, and then you try not to hold it tight, try not to make it too loose. So just nicely measure. For you to get an accurate measurement, I'd like you to take a deep breath, and as you are exhaling, you measure. That's when you can afford to get the right measurement. Don't try to tuck your tummy in. You need to relax. So you take a deep breath and exhale, and you measure at the point of your belly button. Whatever number you get, you write it down. So what happens is, if you are a Canadian or American, and as a man, your weight, your measurement is more than 102 centimeters, or a woman and your measurement is more than 94 centimeters, then you say you have abdominal obesity. If you are from Europe or Middle East, or from Sub-Saharan African, the Mediterranean, and as a man you measure and you are getting more than 90 centimeters, as a woman you measure and you are getting more than 88 centimeters, then we say you have abdominal obesity. If you are Asian, Japanese, or South and Central American, and as a man or a woman you measure and you're getting more than 80 centimeters, then we say you have abdominal obesity. So this is really very important. It's something I'd like us to do. Why I take this quite seriously is, you might have this, you might think you're okay in the good body shape, but if you measure yourself and you do not fall within these numbers, that's where you can say you're okay. But otherwise, I'd like us to take this measurement when we go after listening to this today. Do your own measurement. I'm gonna do mine as well. It's an assignment. I need us to take it quite seriously. Okay, so the things I've mentioned that you should be considering for metabolic syndrome. If you take this measurement and you find that you have abdominal obesity, then you have one of the syndromes. Again, you do your blood pressure. Let us make sure that our blood pressure is not more than 130 over 85. If it's equal or more than that, then we have another syndrome added to it. Again, if you have the opportunity to go and do a fasting lipid where they measure all your fats in the body, and they see that the bad fat is actually on the high side, then we should be worried as well. You can as well randomly test your blood sugar. The glucometer is quite obtainable in any pharmacy shop. Just randomly test your blood sugar and let's see the number. I'm not going to go into that detail now, but the assignment is, these things are quite doable. So we can as well do it at home in the comfort of our own home, and then you can do the blood test when you can. But we need to rule out that we do not have any metabolic syndrome. If you really like this channel and you find it beneficial, I'd recommend that you subscribe, and so you always know when the next episode is coming out. Okay. So till the next episode, I will say, let's go do the assignment, and I wish all of us luck. Right.